Hello, trading has closed on October 28th, 2025. As always, we'll start with our disclaimer, go over our calls, and then make our predictions. This is my trading plan for Wednesday, which is October 29th, 2025. Remember, it's just a plan right now. I can change it, I can be wrong, and trade at your own risk. Also, futures haven't opened overnight. I don't know how that'll change things. Look for the pattern today with the early low. That's this. Tomorrow has the early high. We had a target. We said unless we gapped up smartly, it should print. But we said gapping up smartly was entirely possible. So we gapped up smartly. Prices on the table. Times off the table. There wasn't a call. This is just a reminder of what we said. Gapping up is possible. Well, we're leaving a lot of failed price targets behind. About twice every year I get a cluster of targets which don't print in their preferred time frame, and when that happens, it's usually a period of a strong impulsive move, and in the past we've always retraced and printed the targets. Every now and then it pays to remind ourselves of what the track record is. I've got 6 regular targets and 1 ultimate target which haven't printed. Well, how often are 6 regular targets not going to print in the year? From 2002 I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 times that's happened since 2002, so it's possible. It's not common, but it's possible. And what about the ultimate target? I've got 7 others which haven't printed in over 23 years, so about once every 3 plus years one doesn't print. So it is possible, but the odds are against it. The odds are at some point we're going to retrace. Doesn't mean it happens now, doesn't mean we don't go higher. During the day, MEJT said this move was false, would retrace, said this drop was false, would retrace, said this rally's false, and it retraced. So that's all played out. What's happened to the DeMark accounts? By the end of this week, we'll erase the early because we're going to print. If we don't have a complete collapse, we'll print bar number 13 of the combo sell on the monthly chart. We're nowhere near the stop loss on the sell signals on the weekly chart. And we now have a 9-13-9 sequential and combo sell signal on the daily charts. When DeMark originally did his stuff, it was just on the daily charts. This was even more powerful in his work than just the 9-13. This is a 9-13-9. That's when this works, it's a powerful sell signal. Now again, it just means you're overextended. You can correct an overextended condition by dropping in price. You can also correct it by consolidating over time, or it could just fail altogether. But when these things are all printing in alignment, you have to be aware that you're in a risky territory, even though we keep hitting new highs. Until we reverse, you can't be certain it'll work, but when it works, it gives a powerful sell. And when they all occur at the same time, and they all occur in different time frames, that's powerful stuff in his work. Again, it doesn't mean it works. It means when it works, it's a powerful sell. So Wednesday's pattern has the early high regardless of where we open. The FOMC announcement comes out at 2 p.m. Eastern. It's typically followed by wide swings, which I can't predict with a sufficient degree of accuracy. We gapped up, hit a higher high, but closed under intraday highs. This close is under all these highs. Now, if that's maintained at the open, it should lead to lower prices printing, even if we don't close lower. We gap up here, all is forgiven. Right now, it's a negative pattern. We have a DeMark 913-9 sequential cell on the daily chart to go along with his other cell signals. We're quite overbought by his criteria, and if we drop, it should be a very sizable drop. Now remember, you can still correct this through time, but they don't have to work. It's just a question of if the drop starts, it should have legs. Breadth is not confirming recent new highs. Remains quite possible we'll have a significant drop. Until we start dropping, it remains possible. I can't say it's guaranteed. Now, what happens after the FOMC announcement tomorrow? I don't know. This typically leads to wild moves all over the place. I'm always flat going into it. Nothing is guaranteed until we start dropping. Just remember, by DeMark's criteria, this is very rarefied air. A friend of mine has a timing date which comes in tomorrow if we hit a new high, and if you're off by a day, it doesn't mean anything. So anytime we start dropping here, if we start dropping, it should have legs. But until we do start dropping, I'm not going to try to pick a top. I'm just going to be aware that we're in an area where a top is entirely plausible, even though I have much higher targets. So it's a pattern tomorrow with the early high. Look for wild swings around the FOMC announcement, and just be aware, if we do get a big drop tomorrow, and I'm not saying we will, but if we do, I don't think I'd stick around because it could have legs. It's a pattern with the early high, and that's today's call.